Mid-America Industrial Park's Living Grand on Grand Lake is presented by Cherokee Grove Casino and made possible by
The Tech Lab is specifically designed to be able to build drones. We have the opportunity at each workstation to 3D print any drone body that a learner could imagine. The sponsors for this lab are Mid-America Industrial Park and Google. They have been absolute phenomenal partners in this endeavor.
The ribbon cutting today is important because it represents not only collaboration between our businesses and Mid-America and the community, but it also represents the STEM initiative that we have promoted throughout the school system, which essentially gives kids the skill sets necessary to have a career in technology. This is the most rewarding part of my job because this is the future.
Watched by viewers and members like you.
Coming up on Living Grand on Grand Lake. Skiing, surfing, wakeboarding? Yes, we have all that and more. If you're looking for a great way to drop a couple of $1 million, we have a suggestion and a charming store in downtown Grove. All these stories and more coming up on Living Grand on Grand Lake.
And this is Living Grand at Grand Lake.
This is Living Grand on Grand Lake.
This is Living Grand on Grand Lake.
Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Christy Wallace, and I really am living grand on Grand Lake. As you know from watching this show, Grand Lake has something for everyone. We enjoy showing you many aspects of lake living, and some of our favorite shows over the years involve water sports. So on today's episode, we've compiled a selection of a highlight reel of sorts, showing you all the water sports we've featured over the past 5 seasons. So sit back and enjoy some of the talent this lake has to offer.
You start down in the water. The board is perpendicular to the boat, and so it just seems like, how on earth am I going to do this? But you put your feet on the very back of it and the very front, and whenever the boat starts to pull you, because your hands are on the rope at this point, you push down with your ankles or your heels, and the board just kind of flips up and just gets right on your feet. From there, you just lean. When you lean on your front foot, it acts like the gas. So you go forward on the wave, and when you lean back, that increases the friction, and so you go backwards on the wave. And then if you lean on your toes, you go towards the center of the wave, and then on your heels, it's back out into the open water.
Typically, when you're back there riding a ski or a wakeboard, you're not interacting whatsoever with the people in the boat. You're just doing the sport and they're watching or they're talking amongst themselves. When you're surfing, you're so close to the boat and you're only going 10.5 miles an hour that you're literally talking back and forth to the people in the boat, or you're all listening to the same tunes together, singing along and having fun. You can tell when you look around the boat that there's so many good ideas from real riders, not from some engineer in a boat making place.
Unlike wakeboarding and skiing, it's like you're doing it like 12, 13 miles per hour. So when you fall, you're not gonna get that same impact and water up your nose and hurts everywhere. It's very easy to pick up. It's very hard to master, but anybody can pick it up pretty simply.
Grand Lake's a little rough for wakeboarding and stuff, so I think everyone's starting to try to transfer over to surfing for that reason, because the water's just rougher and you can surf with rough water. It's a lot slower pace. Instead of going 20, 25 miles an hour, you're going 9, 10, 11 miles an hour, and it's a lot easier on your body.
I'm competing in junior min right now, which is one step below junior pro. So
Going out on the lake was always just my favorite thing to do as a kid. And then once I got into competitions and INT, I met all these people, and all these people love doing the same stuff I love doing. So it's one of those things, it's like, you know, two people who do the same thing will enjoy being together. So just kind of met a bunch of people and started riding together, and then it just kind of took off from there.
I've always lived on like Grand Lake and stuff like that. My grandparents have a lake house up here, and I've always been around like boats, and I've always been on the lake and everything. So I just saw it being done one day at a Red Bull Wake Series tournament, and I was like, Mom, I want to do that. And so like the next summer she bought me a wakeboard, and I just kind of started.
Well, the ski boat that we used this morning it's a 1993 Mastercraft ProStar 190, and that boat is built for tournament skiing. I mean, really and truly, that's all it's good for. It's not a fishing boat. It's not a good wakeboard boat. Definitely not a good surf boat. It is, in the true sense, a traditional tournament ski boat. It makes a very flat, small wake, so there's no disruption as you're cutting from, you know, one buoy to the next, and you come across a wake, you can cut right through that wake without any disruption. And that's what makes a really good ski boat, is not throwing a wake. You know, just standing behind the boat at 36 miles an hour, that's pretty quick. So if you've never done it, just have your dad or your mom or whoever you're skiing with pull you 36 miles an hour and just see what it feels like standing behind it. And then go out to the side of the boat and then cut as hard as you can to the other side and experience that acceleration, and that's where the real speed is, yeah. As long as my body, God willing, will let me do it, I'll keep doing it. I'm hoping the guy that I kind of look up to as far as longevity is George Banana Blair. He was still doing it in his late 80s, so hoping we can keep doing it.
There are still a few water sports out there we haven't featured yet. So if you're into extreme tubing or you can do a somersault on your jet ski, then reach out to us so we can get you on the show. Until then, we'll be on the lookout for more fun and exciting things for Grand Lakers. Stay with us. We'll be right back on Living Grand on Grand Lake.
And this is Living Grand on Grand Lake.
This is Living Grand on Grand Lake.
This is Living Grand on Grand Lake.
The Tech Lab is specifically designed to build drones. We have the opportunity at each workstation to 3D print any drone body that a learner could imagine. The sponsors for this lab are Mid-America Industrial Park and Google. They have been absolute phenomenal partners in this endeavor.
The ribbon cutting today is important because it represents not only collaboration between our businesses and Mid-America and the community, but it also represents the STEM initiative that we have promoted throughout the school system, which essentially gives kids the skill sets necessary to have a career in technology. This is the most rewarding part of my job because this is the future.
Hello, our safety tip for today is what we're required to have in our vessel. Hello, our safety tip for today
Number one
is a life jacket for every passenger in the boat.
Many challenges.
Make sure it fits everyone, and we have one for everybody that's going to be with us that day. We have a red and green required item is a throw cushion. A simple device that we can throw to somebody that's in trouble in the water. The red and green we are to have trouble on the water with our vessel. see which direction
we are to have a simple paddle
when they see us
that would help us get to the
white light
shoreline,
obviously
they can get to a dock.
They're coming
so we can wait
rear of
for
the
help.
boat, but it also
Along
if
those
we have
lines,
just a white light
if
on
we
the
can't
back of
paddle
the
to
boat,
safety,
means that
we're
that
required
boat
to have
is
an anchor. We
and
can
that's
simply
a
throw
different
this out and just
aspect
wait
of
for how we
somebody
need
coming to help
to
us.
face that situation.
Another thing to remember,
For our vessel is
if
to
we
take
have
on
keep
water,
those lights
one of the
running,
required
keep
things
spare
to have is
balls in
some
the
type
boat,
of a bailing
keep
device. It could be a
things to
simple
keep those
bucket,
going, like tools
an
or
ice
spare
chest, or
balls.
anything that we can use to
Nighttime
bail water out of the boat
navigation
if it begins taking on water.
is a learning process, and we need to
Another
educate
thing,
ourselves.
we always want to keep in the vessel is a fire extinguisher. Make sure that you inspect these periodically,
Great
make
idea
sure
for
that
the
they are
adults to come
up
and
to
get
date
involved
and
in
ready
that
to go.
and learn things that we
Another item required to
might
have on our
overlook.
vessel is a horn or a whistle.
That's our
This
safety
gives us a
tip
way
today.
to signal if we need help.
And now, time for the Living Grand on Grand Lake events page. The Jana J. Fiddle Camp and Music Festival brings musicians, instructors, and exciting entertainment to the Grand Lake area over the Labor Day weekend, August 31st through September 2nd. This fun-filled musical weekend is filled with workshops and performances from all acoustic instruments. For more information, contact Grand Lake Festivals at 918-786-8896 or go to grandlakefestivals.com. The 5th annual 5K Sunset Dam Run Walk supporting Grand Lake Fireworks is set for Saturday, September 22nd in Disney, Oklahoma. Registration and the starting line are located at Cherokee State Park in Disney, right by the Pensacola Dam, with all proceeds benefiting Grand Lake Fireworks, Inc. for the 2019 Grand Lake Fireworks display. Visit grandlakesfireworks.com for more information. Well, that's it for now from the Living Grand on Grand Lake events page. Welcome back to Mid-America Industrial Park's Living Grand on Grand Lake, presented by Cherokee Grove Casino.
It's no secret that people are drawn to our beautiful lake for a variety of marine-based activities. A lesser-known Grand Lake draw is a little more land-based than most of our attractions. Miami's Newell Coach has been building custom luxury motor coaches at their factory on Route 66 for more than 50 years. Clients from all over the world travel to Miami to design custom machines, often running in excess of $2 million. We recently had the opportunity to tour Newell Coach and visit with my friend Brian Pitts. Enjoy as we tour Newell's state-of-the-art manufacturing campus and get a peek inside one of the coaches.
So the company has been here in northeastern Oklahoma for coming up on 52 years. It started out in California as a primarily trailer manufacturer, a company called Streamline Travel Homes. And Miami, Oklahoma native L.K. Newell bought one of the travel homes and had creative suggestions for how to improve the product. And the company Streamline had decided that the motorized division wasn't really the way for them to go. LK bought the company in 1967 and the remaining inventory, moved it out here to Miami and started building. He changed the name, of course, to Newell Coach from Streamline and started building the coaches here. He finished the first 5 of them here and then changed the name to Newell after that. And 52 years later, here we are building motorhomes. We've got a bunch of the kind of guys that I grew up with, farm boys, that literally unload raw materials off of a truck and in the period of 6 months build a completed $2 million luxury coach in northeastern Oklahoma. It floors me that sort of thing is happening here. I think a lot of it is, obviously society's much faster than it's ever been. You can be anywhere in a matter of a few hours. And with the access to high-speed internet and all that, there's a lot of people that are attracted to the idea of slowing down and looking around a little bit. I've flown over the Grand Canyon 25 times and never stopped to look over the side. I'm at the point in my life now where I have time to stop and look over the side, and I hear that from so many of our customers. International travel has lost a little of its sizzle too, with the difficulties flying and that sort of thing. And there are a lot of people who, if they want to see mountains, they don't have to go to the Alps. We have the Rockies. If they want to see a beach, there's Naples. That sort of thing. And that's really what we cater to. So like the machine that we're standing in here, this machine weighs 57,000 pounds. start there. There's a lot of raw materials in this coach. It's a tremendous machine. It has a 605 horse engine. It has 4-wheel active steering and magnetic ride suspension. It's an all metal body, and it's the only one that'll ever be like it. This floor plan is unique. These color schemes are all unique. The paint job on the outside is unique. The detail work that goes into the coach, the carbon fiber on the dash and the custom Italian leather and the countertops from Israel, that stuff is all unique to this coach, and all of it's very expensive. When you add it together, you have a $2 million motorhome. Some of the steps that we go through when we're meeting with a new client or even an existing client is a lot of our customers will send us photographs of their house or their boat or something like that, something they've seen online that's interesting to them. They'll send that to us as a inspiration. And then we have a really incredibly talented staff of engineers and designers that sit down around a long oval table, and we start making notes, looking at their pictures, sketching their ideas in 3D so that they can see what it's going to look like finished. And then our designers and engineers have access to vendors really from all over the world. We can source decor items from Italy and Israel and France, and we get our chassis components from Germany. You know, really we can find the best stuff out there in the world to make this thing happen for someone. So the thing that, now that my life has slowed down a little bit, that I love so much about it is if I'm driving along and I see something that looks interesting. I used the Grand Canyon as an example a while ago, but in many cases it's nothing nearly that grand, you know, the Ford Museum in Dearborn or that sort of thing. Pull in, go look, spend the night if you want. That's what's so cool about it is as you're traveling across country and you have a 1,200 mile trip, you can break it up in 200 miles or you can drive the whole thing. It's kind of at your schedule. What's so nice about it to me is really you're carrying everything you need with you. You have water purification on board, you have onboard power production, you have 500 square feet when the slides are slid out, and it's wherever you want it to be.
If you're in the market for a multi-million-dollar motor coach, then Brian Pitts is your man. If your budget's just shy of a Newell coach, then just visit their website at newellcoach.com for some eye candy. While you're online, visit our website at rsu.tv. Click on the Programs tab and then select Living Grand on Grand Lake. You can watch episodes from every season and even share them with your closest friends on social media. Stay with us. We have more coming up next on Living Grand on Grand Lake.
This is Living Grand on Grand Lake.
This is Living Grand on Grand Lake.
Grand Lake's newest destination for great fun is located just off the lake in Grove. At Cherokee Casino Grove, you'll experience exceptional food and outstanding service. Stop in to relax with your favorite drink and root for your team on the big screen. Experience live local music on the 1897 stage every weekend. Cherokee Casino Grove on Highway 59 at East 250 Road. It's the most fun you'll have off the water.
After finishing high school, I immediately got married and started my family. Without a college degree, I found that pretty quickly my options were limited. When I started looking around for a college program for working adults, I quickly found that Rogers State was a great fit. They worked with me to get financial aid, offered classes that fit my busy schedule, and gave me personalized attention that I couldn't get at a larger school. Rogers State definitely started me on my professional career.
Every day, the employees of the Grand River Dam Authority strive for excellence by focusing on the 5 E's: employees, electricity, environmental stewardship, economic development, and efficiency. We do this by producing low-cost, reliable electricity that touches 75 of the 77 counties in the state. At no cost to the taxpayers, we also manage 70,000 surface acres of lakes and the scenic Illinois River. Annually, the efforts of Team GRDA facilitate over $450 million in economic activity for Oklahoma.
Welcome back to Mid-America Industrial Park's Living Grand on Grand Lake, presented by Cherokee Grove Casino.
Growing up with a mom who loved to craft, Carla Finn learned how to look at things in a different light. You see a discarded old wooden box, she sees a beautiful repurposed design piece. Carla has been delighting Grand Lakers at her store Weathered Charm. She has an interesting collection of new, antique, and repurposed items. Her store is a favorite shopping destination for locals and visitors alike.
I am actually retired from nursing. I worked as a nurse for 29 years, and my sister's retired from teaching. She also taught first grade for 29 years, and we took on this venture thinking it would be a small part-time operation, and it took off like gangbusters, and it's a full-time job. My mother was a fantastic decorator. Our home in Stillwater burned when I was 4 and we lost everything. So in those days, people gave you all sorts of handouts, and she would take everything and repurpose and decorate beautifully. She handmade her own draperies, upholstered furniture, could make a lady's suit, wool suit from a man's wool suit. She just had a knack for making beautiful things from leftovers. And so she decorated our home. If there was a square inch, something got put there, and we kind of picked that up. My sister is my shopper. She has an eye. My sister's name is Kay Mason, and she lives in Stillwater, Oklahoma. And she, like I said, she's a retired school teacher, so getting out in the heat and traveling and shopping flea markets and markets, and it's a day in the park for her. We have a wide variety of things in our store. We have new, used, repurposed, antique, reimagined, found, and sometimes I do order the new items to come in. We do have some reproduction items just because some things are so hard to find. It's big competition out there these days. I also order all of the new items like soaps and candles, those sort of things that are gift items. I think if it has good bones, and I think if it has a story, or sometimes you just need that little piece of bric-a-brac off of something to use on another piece. It makes it interesting and something that you're not going to see when you walk into your friends or family's home. It's going to be something different, and that's what we like. Unfortunately, in this day and age, you do kind of see a lot of the same things when you go to different shops, so we try to bring some things in that you might not see there. One of my assistants, her name is Judy, and she is wonderful. She's worked retail for 20-some years. She's full of energy, and she loves to help people to set up a vignette. They'll bring things up to the counter that they might like, and she will help them put together a lovely setting that they can then take a picture of. They purchase it, they have the picture, they go home and can set it up exactly the same way. It's turned out to be a big job, but we love it. And as you can see, we don't have an empty inch anywhere. And when we do have something go out, we have 2 things ready to come in. So we keep it moving. We like to see the merchandise leave. We love to buy things and we love to sell it. So we don't want it to get stagnant in here. It's just coming home. It just feels good in here. I like coming in here, getting it all ready. It's fun when my assistants come in and we all hash out what our grandkids did, have fun stories to tell. There's actually 2 other ladies that work with me besides my sister, Donna and Terry, and then I have a friend here in town, Sally, who will help once in a while. So it's just a fun group of girls. And we have a lot of regulars that come to see us. And they say they come in here to get their therapy. They just like it. So that makes us feel good, that they feel good when they come in here, that it's some kind of therapy, whether they purchase or not. It's not always retail therapy, it's just therapy.
Weather Charm is located on 3rd Street in downtown Grove with convenient parking in the front and behind the store as well. Visit their Facebook page for hours and more information. Well, that's all for this week's edition of Living Grand on Grand Lake. Thanks for joining us, and I look forward to seeing you right back here on RSU TV next week.
Mid-America Industrial Park's Living Grand on Grand Lake is presented by Cherokee Grove Casino and made possible by
The Tech Lab is specifically designed to build drones. We have the opportunity at each workstation to 3D print any drone body that a learner could imagine. The sponsors for this lab are Mid-America Industrial Park and Google. They have been absolute phenomenal partners in this endeavor.
The ribbon cutting today is important because it represents not only collaboration between our businesses and Mid-America and the community, but it also represents the STEM initiative that we have promoted throughout the school system, which essentially gives kids the skill sets necessary to have a career in technology. This is the most rewarding part of my job because this is the future.
Also by
Every day, the employees of the Grand River Dam Authority strive for excellence by focusing on the 5 E's: employees, electricity, environmental stewardship, economic development, and efficiency. We do this by producing low-cost, reliable electricity that touches 75 of the 77 counties in the state. At no cost to the taxpayers, we also manage 70,000 surface acres of lakes and the scenic Illinois River. Annually, the efforts of Team GRDA facilitate over $450 million in economic activity for Oklahoma.
Plus by
I had the drive to boost my earning power.
I was driven to be more competitive in the job market.
Finishing my degree, that's what drives me.
If you left college without a degree, Reach Higher, Oklahoma's degree completion program, can change your life. You get affordable tuition, flexible class schedules with online options, and a degree from a state university.
I was driven to earn my diploma.
And I did it.
Apply today at reachhigheroklahoma.org. Let your drive you.
And by viewers and members like you.